the smallest 300-watt battery-powered light you can get. In my never-ending quest for the brightest, most portable, compact, battery-powered outdoor video light to compete with the sun, I have a new favorite. That's the most powerful, smallest light that you could possibly take outside, and that just blows everything away that I've been showing you so far. The Godox RS60 is just way too weak, and then the beam is too narrow. My favorite well making, it's really too weak for what I really want to do. The Ulanzi EC65, too weak. My old go-to, the Zhiyun X100, it's okay, but it's still kind of too weak for what I want to do. The Ulanzi VL120 Bi, it's great. It's getting up there, but it's still, I mean, I showed you that video about the 500s, 600s, and 800s, and that's where I feel happiest. The ML150 Bi, it's a little too weak. The Zhiyun X200 is still a little too weak. Great size, I like it, but it's still a little bit too weak. I showed you the FS300 by Neewer. It's 300 watts, which is getting to the range where I like it outside. But this requires a 26-volt V-mount battery, which costs $300, and they're not that easy to get. You cannot use normal 14-volt V-mount batteries with this light here. So that's the downside of that. So 300 watts is where it starts to get to where I really like the power outside. Now, mind you, if you're shooting indoors, if you're a typical YouTuber just using a softbox in your spare bedroom, you can use any light. That's okay. I'm talking about outdoors in the bright sunlight. That's where you start to need at least about 300 watts. All right, so here it is. Are you ready? Drum roll. Ta-da! Here it is. It is a Sirui C300XII. I have this problem using products where I don't know how to pronounce the name. How do you pronounce this? Sirui. Well, anyway, this is 300 watts, and this is totally battery powered. And this thing is $350. The 200 is $370. So this is cheaper and a lot brighter. This is actually 1 1/3 stops brighter than this. If one stop is twice the amount of light, that means this thing is more than twice as bright as this, the 200. The 200, like I said, requires a 26-volt, $300 V-mount battery to be totally at full power, and this makes it more impractical for most people. But this battery, this light, uses normal little tiny 14.8 volt V-mount. I'll get to that in a second. And the 200 has fan noise. When you put a big reflector bowl on here, the fan vibration goes through the bowl and you hear this hum. It's like this loud hum. So between a 26 volt battery and the loud humming fan noise, this is a no for me, and this is a yes. So here we go. So here's everything you get in the kit. Obviously, you can plug it into a wall. It has a power brick. And the thing I like, this is genius, and I swear this little wire here is the most important thing for anybody who uses a power brick, because this allows you to hang it on a light stand, and the power brick dangling on the floor is got to be the most annoying thing when you're plugging lights into a wall. This makes it, and look how tiny this thing is. This is like the tiniest power brick ever for a 300 watt light. That is how small this is, and the wire just makes this great. But again, that's not why I got this thing. I got it for battery powered. I normally don't like big handles like this, but it's really lightweight, and that's what I like about it. So here's all you need to make this thing portable, is this right here. That's it. For the power, you just need 2 little tiny 99 normal 14.8 volt V-mount batteries, and they just go on here. You need 2 of them, and you're ready to go. That's it. Now you're totally 300 watt, 100% portable. And yes, this is the same exact brightness output when you're using battery as when it's plugged into a wall, which is great. And it also comes with this clamp, which is really cool because that. So now you have your power on the stand, and then you put your light up here, and you're good to go. Now I'm going to put this thing into use outdoors in a minute, and that's going to be the fun part, where you see this thing in action and what's possible with this. It comes with this reflector, and this reflector has been tuned for this light. You can use a Bowens mount. You can use with any light. You can use any Bowens mount thing on here, and I'll show you the difference of how important and what differences the different modifiers use. But the one that it comes with is tuned for brightness. This reflector with this light that it comes with is so powerful, it will scald your retinas. But there's no hotspot. It's a nice flat light. I'll show you that in a second. Now, as far as brightness goes, if you're running both these 300s on battery power, the Sirui 300 is 1/3 of a stop brighter than the Neewer FS300 running on battery power. If the Neewer was running on AC power, This would be 1/3 of a stop brighter than the Sirui. The Sirui is just, it does not change if it's on battery or AC. It's the same brightness. This is $240, which is $100 less than this light. But this is bigger and heavier and clunkier. This thing does have a little bit of fan noise. It's mild. I'm going to take it outside in a second. You're going to see this thing in action. You're not going to be able to hear this fan noise. But for those of you who are super critical, fan noise is kind of an issue. Then I have this. This is a sleeper. This is something that most people don't even think about that can be battery powered. The Godox VL300. This is an oldie but goodie. This thing does not have any fan noise at all. It's a 300 and it is totally battery powered. This is the whole, you don't need to plug into a wall. This thing here, what most people don't remember or think about is this is a portable battery powered controller. You can use two 99 V-mount batteries. 1, 2, check this out. This is pretty amazing. Most people don't realize this. 300 watts of power, 100% running on the same two little tiny V-mount batteries that the other one does. It's just bigger and heavier. But the reason it's so big is because this has no fan. This is a totally passive heat sink. So if you want quiet, this one is this is 8 pounds. That one is 2.9 pounds. 8 pounds isn't really that heavy. So this, by the way, is a 300 watt light, just so you know. And the Sirui 300 is 0.2 of a stop brighter than the Zhiyun G300, which only runs on AC anyway. And this is also 0.2 of a stop brighter than the Amaran Ray 360, which cannot even run on batteries. So nothing beats the Sirui 300 for that. All right, so let's take this thing outside and see this thing in action. You're going to be blown away, and what a difference using the different reflectors makes. So here we go. All right, here I am outside in the shade, so there's no light on me. I exposed for the background, so it's nice and dark back there. Really nice and rich colored and everything. So here we are. I've got the lights at fist length. I'm going to turn one on, and then I'll turn two on. All right, here's one light. I'm using the standard reflectors that it comes with, and they're very, very bright. I can't see very well, but look how bright it is. And now I'm going to turn on the second one here. Wow, that is so bright, I can't even open my eyes. It's, but look how I compensated with the camera to darken the background. It's like nighttime. That's how bright these lights are. But that's because they're literally fist length from my face, and which is like not very far, and they're using the scalding reflectors that they come with, which concentrates the light a lot. So I'm going to move these back in a minute, but let's use some bigger reflectors for now, just to see. All right, now we're using 16-inch beauty dishes. This is a Sunfo 16-inch with a deflector. This is a 16-inch Neewer without a deflector. Much easier on the eyes because they're bigger and not as bright. The bigger you get, the dimmer the light, but this is pretty good, huh? And this is, again, fist length, which is like this over here. And it's pretty good. This I can handle. I can actually look kind of relaxed while I talk with these. So that's pretty good. The background is still pretty darn dark. Pretty darn dark. PDD. You can get some good lighting with these 300s out on location using these little tiny KMTV V-mount batteries. Not very big, not very heavy. These are very, very portable. Great power source for these things. 2 per light. But these don't weigh anything. These are great. Look at this little thing here. All right, let's try some more reflectors. Here I'm going to use some 12-inch open beauty dishes without the deflectors. This is what it looks like without the light. And this is with the 12-inch beauty dishes with the deflectors removed. And this is what it looks like. All right, now we're going to use a little Godox RFT3 umbrella reflectors without the umbrella. Wow, these are even brighter than the 12-inch. Stunningly bright in my eyes. I could back them up. Yes, I can. We leave no stone unturned here at Marcus Labs, and since each reflector behaves completely different, we're going to try a reflector from a Neewer Q4 flash. This is actually one of my favorite reflectors. It works really, really well, no hotspot whatsoever, and it's compact. So if you're traveling, this is a nice compact reflector, and look at the look you can get with this. Okay, the Q4 reflectors are not as bright, nowhere near as bright as the RFT3, and these are a little more tolerable than the RFT3s, but this is what the Q4 reflectors are like. This is the Q4 reflectors on the Sirui 300s, and they are definitely more tolerable than the RFT3. All right, and the 16-inch reflectors are not as bright as the Q4. This is just one right here. Okay. I'm sure some of you are wondering, what about the Magnum with a sock or some gel, diffusion gel over it? Let's try that. Wow, you can make the sky really nice and dark with that. Obviously, the Magnums are great for that. You get soft light and it's bright because it concentrates, and it's not that big. It's 14 inches, so they're like two little 14-inch softboxes, but brighter than softboxes. So here we go. So yeah, so you have two 14-inch Magnums. This one has that one has a sock. This one has a 30-32 half grid on it, and this is what it looks like. Or I could put both lights off to one side and have like a kind of a diagonal light off. Let's try that. Okay, so now I have two lights kind of off to the side here, and so now you've got a little bit of light shading going on here. A little bit of reflected light coming off the white wall here, but it hopefully isn't that much. But anyway, this is what it looks like when you have two 14-inch round things right here within my hand distance. And so it's basically, what is that, 14 by 28 inch, basically. Soft light source off to the side here. Now let's move it over just a little bit there, make the light wrap around a little bit more. So now you got a little bit of shade on this side, a little bit of light on this side, still kind of soft, wrapping around, and should be pretty good, huh? So this is like two 300-watt lights running on tiny little batteries, and it looks pretty good. Nice soft light outdoors, bright sunlight, middle of the day, pretty good. Now these are kind of plasticky, and one of the knobs did fall off, so I just hot glued it back on. These are not like super high-end metal, heavy-duty things, but I don't care. I like lightweight, I like plastic, I like bright, I like small, I like portable, compact, and they've worked good so far. I've never had a problem with them, and I've been messing with them for several weeks now. There's nothing out there that gives you this much light for this small of a package. So anyway, so yep. So there you go. Everything you just saw was with this tiny little package. Nothing beats the Sirui C300XII. They did not contact me. They probably don't even know I exist. I love this so much. I got 3 of them. Here you go. Look at that. 3 little family going here. These are so portable. You can put 3 of these in a little handbag and take it with you when you're hiking or traveling or wherever it is you go in the world. And look at the tiny little power package you can get. This thing runs with these 2 little batteries for almost an hour at full power. I had it running for at least 45 minutes yesterday, no problem. So yeah, these things are great. I hope you're inspired by this, and I hope I don't have to buy even more lights within the next few months. I hope this lasts at least 6 months before the next one comes out that's even brighter and smaller. But I'm keeping you up to date on what's going on out there and what the brightest, most smallest, powerful package is for taking it out into the world. I hope you're inspired by it. I hope I don't linger too long. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, bye.